It works?
It works.
It works. Oh, people are already here.
Cool. That's awesome.
It works. Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yay.
Hi, vibes. Love it. Hi, Jer.
Hey, how's it going, Steph?
It's going.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. Loving the wild man.
I love the braids.
Thank you.
I wish I could do that with my hair.
It's I'll be honest, not the most flattering, a little self-deprecating here, but my personal hygiene hasn't been,
Right.
up to par.
We're all in COVID world, right?
Yes, somebody said, can you say hi to me? I did see it. Pilo?
And somebody said hi from Barcelona?
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going.
Turkey says hello. Hi from Turkey. That's amazing.
Well, hi everybody. Oh, this is fun. Sorry,
This is great. We love it.
I'll be multitasking champ here and can do both you and the comments and everything else.
Stephanie, how much do you miss Mr. Robot fans?
Mr. Robot fans are the best fans. All fans are the best fans, but Mr. Robot fans are the dedication level is something different, right? I feel like at some point during the show, a few times during the show, it's almost like they knew more than we did. They knew more about our characters than we did.
Yes.
They knew more about
literally they did.
For real.
When you were auditioning, I'm gonna ask you some questions like this is like a talk show.
Okay.
So I'm curious.
Questions back. And then we also want your questions out there.
Yes.
And
send your questions through to Stephanie.
Jer, oh wait, there is a question. Should we see the question first?
Yeah, do it.
How do we do this? This one is, do you believe Tyrell is dead? Ooh, what do you think?
Love that question. I love that question. I don't want to believe he's dead.
I don't want to believe he's dead either.
I don't want to believe he's dead. And part of that's because how I feel about Martin, like such a great, loving person, so
he's the
goofy.
best. Martin,
he really is. And together you two were incredible. So in my heart, of course, neither of you are dead. Right.
Oh. But yeah, no, I hope he's not dead either. I don't want him to be dead. I have a feeling he's not dead.
Yeah, maybe he sidestepped it somehow, and that was just like a weird dream, drug-infused dream thing that happened.
I want to believe that. Martin is the sweetest guy. I don't think we can emphasize this enough. He is such, isn't he also an incredible scene partner? He is so if you're not an actor or if but when we work together, it's not only about your own performance, it's also what you get from the person that you're doing a scene with.
Right.
And Martin was just incredibly generous. I feel like he really cared more about the scene than his own performance, which of course made his performance fantastic.
Right. He also, I remember having a long acting conversation with him when we were at Coney Island, and we had a long discussion about acting and preparation, and I probably hadn't talked as much about acting since grad school. Like, it was a really in-depth technical
because he really loves his job. He's an artist.
Yeah, he's an artist.
It's not a job to him, it's his life. I feel you feel the same way. I feel the same way. Yeah. Oh,
that's true. Yeah.
Wait, okay, there are a lot of questions coming up too. What were you gonna ask, Jeremy?
I was gonna ask you what your audition was like.
Oh, so you know what my audition? So I got sent the pilot, and it was fantastic, and I read it, and then my audition scene was this is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. My audition scene was the scene where Joanna is laying, 7 months pregnant, in a bed about to get into some BDSM with her husband, who's just been out doing some other shnish,
Yes.
and blindfolded, and it said blindfolded.
Yes.
And I was like, am I supposed to close my eyes? Like, how am I going to do this scene? So I did a self-tape because I was in Los Angeles and they were shooting in New York. And I did the whole thing with my eyes closed. And as I was doing it, I was thinking, yeah, I'm not going to book this. For sure not going to book this. But I tried. And I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. And I didn't hear anything. And I kept asking, that show, that fucking amazing thing. Did you hear anything about it? Nothing. And then all of a sudden on a Friday, my agent, my manager at the time, got a email that said, can she be in New York on Monday?
Wow.
Which was just, and then
it was crazy.
And then my life changed. That was, I was very happy with the things I've done before, but Mr. Robot was really what changed my life for sure. How was yours?
I just remember it was a busy day, and it was probably in August or September, right in there. And it was just like 2 lines. That's all it was, 2 lines. And I went in and I did it.
And what were you at that point? You were just Mr. X, right?
Mr. X.
Yeah, he didn't have Sutherland. Does he have another name as well?
What's that?
Do you have we have to differentiate here. Does Mr. Sutherland have another name as well? He has Mr. Sutherland is also an alias, right?
Yes, it is. And there have been floated other ideas of what his name was, but I never read it in print anywhere. Nor did I talk to anyone who on the writing team who knew what it was. But Sam knew what it was.
Sam knows how to keep it tight, doesn't he? He knows how to keep it tight.
He's not going to tell you. But you got to love, right?
Yeah.
Ambiguity and that mystery is part of the excitement.
No, for sure. And I mean, he does share where it counts, obviously. When there's
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was going to ask you then, in all of your time on Mr. Robot, think about all the scenes you did. What was the most difficult scene? And you can't pick the last scene because obviously that's like a hard scene to do for obvious reasons.
I can't. Okay.
You can pick it, but you have to at least throw in another one.
No, okay, I won't pick it. I can tell you the most awkward scene, and believe it or not, it wasn't that naked one with the big prosthetic belly and stuff. It's the one where I just saw a Ciao Italia. Ciao Italia. Oh, I hope you guys are okay. I spent a lot of time in Italy when I was.
We love you, Italy.
Yeah, we love you. I spent a lot of time there modeling, and I love Italy and Italian people, and I'm so sorry.
Great people. Yeah.
Ooh, and
so
Russia
sad.
too. No, but the most and a very awkward scene.
Здравствуйте, Russia. We love you too.
Oh my God, there's a lot of people here now.
Yeah.
And from UK, we love all of you. And from Austin, Texas, we love you too. But no, an awkward scene for sure was you remember the boyfriend, the bartender boyfriend that Chris. What was his name on the Derek? That Joanna takes up with to clear Tyrell's name. There's this scene where she is belittling him in the most Joanna-ish way ever, just like stone cold, just telling him that he's just never going to be good enough. Like, how is that even? I
imagine that scene was really hard for you.
No, it was a fun scene to shoot, but then the scene ends with, and I actually don't remember if this was depicted on TV. I realize I keep touching my face. I need to not do that.
Hi, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm going to tie them behind my back. Very Joanna. But the scene is supposed to end with then Joanna doing, her manipulative Joanna thing and kisses him down his chest, and that's supposed to end in fellatio, which is the proper word of saying a blowjob.
You can say it on TV. You can say it.
And so and as an actor, I had never. I was like, so I mean, it's obviously up to him to then mimic how that is supposed to look. So I kissed, and as soon as I was out of frame, I moved And then I didn't know really what to do. So I ended up just scratching his foot a little.
Yeah, yeah. Just to give him some kind of
Just to give him
physical
some kind
stimulus
of
to respond to.
And I didn't know if that was even appropriate. I was like, am I doing something really odd here?
That's
So
that's a really smart way to handle it.
Oh, really?
You know?
I'm happy you
I think because it gives him something to react to, but it's not inappropriate, right?
It was so weird. So I was sitting there half naked on the floor, ducking under the camera, like scratching this man's foot. And I was like, this is weird. This is absolutely weird. Like, okay, I guess this is what we do.
You were there for the most awkward scene I shot.
Which one was that?
When I had never met you before, and the first time I met you was when we were rehearsing the scene, and you had to get up out of the bathtub naked.
But naked in front of you in the hot tub.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Well, I mean, we didn't really rehearse it. We just shot it.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
Yeah,
you
but
had the scene with Chris.
He's very. That's what he expects from you.
Yeah, and then you were in the bathtub, and I barged my way through Derek into the bathroom, and just hand you a towel. And I was like, "What is?" I didn't know what this show was. I obviously,
far, Jer. Now we're such
yeah,
good friends.
yeah. But I didn't get to meet you before I was seeing you naked, and it was strange because I wanted you to know that I was respectful and I wasn't.
It's like, hey, I'm not a creeper. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a creeper. Because it's easy for me to slide right into creep.
Oh yes, it is. I've seen your recent movie, The Ranger. It scared the living crap out of me.
I hope you enjoyed that.
It's a lot.
It was so fun.
It's not for kids, Jeremy.
It's my daughters are not allowed to see that for a long time.
No.
There's a kid who goes to my daughter's first grade class, whose parents let him watch that movie. I'm like, what are you doing? Can't watch that movie. People hacked up, and it's crazy.
It's a fun movie though. It's a traditional. I like a good horror movie myself. I don't know about you, but I've always appreciated that genre.
Oh, we got it. You got it. Let's do a horror movie together.
Oh, what? Yes, for sure. What did Joanna scream when she was covered in red paint? I screamed. Screamed? Is that a word?
Not in English, but
I screamed. I screamed, fuck, very loudly. And the reason that it was muted, which actually, or I don't know if that's the reason, but it ended up being muted. So Joanna is just standing there, with no sound and just the classical music with the red paint in the face.
Yeah.
And she's screaming and I was screaming, fuck. And obviously with a scene like that, you kind of get one take, Yeah. And Sam was standing, louder, more. And you can cut that out because I'm mic'd while I'm screaming. But unfortunately, because New York, we love New Yorkers, they like to gather, they like to see, they like to get, in on it.
Right.
They all started applauding me while I was screaming. And that, I don't think, is when 30, 40 people are applauding. I don't think that's possible to edit out that kind of audio. I don't know if that. I see somebody just commented on the scrum thing.
The images that Sam creates in that show are just incredible. Talk a little bit about Sam is sort of famous for his setups, like the one camera, one shot setups he does.
Oh, yeah.
What was the hardest setup for you to act through?
That's a good question. Nothing springs to mind. Do you have one that's particularly?
Well, the final scene we shot.
Oh yeah, that was
of our demise.
Do you guys know that he cut open an SUV? We shot that scene in half an Escalade. He had literally cut. He had an Escalade cut in two, and we shot in a. Did we shoot in both the real one and the open one, or just the open?
We did the both because remember we drove around the block.
That's right.
That's the only time I was actually ever driving in real New York traffic with an actor in the back seat and a camera and actually giving lines. Do you remember that?
I remember.
And do you remember the PA almost walked out in front of us on a green light?
Oh my God, I
over?
remember that. And we had to follow that, and they were just keep driving. And you were like, guys, I need to know where I'm going. And it was like, no, just keep driving. We're just like,
just keep driving. Okay.
That was a crazy night. Was it that night where it was so freaking hot too?
Yeah.
And we were sitting,
like
remember, we were sitting in that car and we had to sit, and you were in your suit, and I don't remember what I was wearing, but something hot.
Something hot. It's always something hot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey, so are there any fan questions, or can I press on with my
there are 35. Sorry guys, we're literally we're getting we're getting used to this. I've never done a live thing before. Wow, there's a lot. Okay, wait, you talk and I will.
Someone says, talk about Joanna deleted scenes.
Joanna.
Someone says, how is it working with Rami? That's a great question. How is it working with Rami?
Rami is just the sweetest guy alive. Like, oh God, he is just, I mean, between you and Martin and Rami, I mean, how does an actress get so lucky? It was just, yeah, he's really wonderful. He is always prepared.
He's funny too.
Funny, very funny, and so easy to work with, and so nice to be around. He's a very personable human being. He is just a nice guy. Very, very easy to work with. I remember that scene that ended up becoming very iconic with Joanna and Elliot, where she says something to him in Danish. She says, if you've done anything to him, I will kill you. She's talking about Tyrell. He comes looking for Tyrell, and I think it's the last episode of season 1. And he comes looking for Tyrell, and we did that scene, and I think we did it one take, because he is so easy. So, I mean, obviously there are different setups, different cameras and stuff like that. So you end up doing the scene a few times, but I think we moved through that day so quickly because it's just easy working with him. He's just always on point, always prepared, always.
Well, and I think that also comes from the top. You know, whenever you have someone like Sam, who's leading the whole team, and if they're calm and relaxed, then everybody is, and you end up going faster that way. So. Oh yeah.
No, absolutely. But also, like we were saying earlier, that's kind of what Sam expects of his actors. Like, there's not a lot of rehearsal, and you get a lot of creative freedom to figure it out on your own. But he also then, having given you that freedom, expects you to be an absolute professional and be on point. And not only in your craft, but the technical aspects of it too. You know, if he tells you that's your mark, then that's your mark, and you just got
it. And you go with it.
You just go with it.
Because he's already thought about all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like to me, it seems like the whole thing is playing in Sam's head as he's going.
Yes. And the way that he and Todd Campbell and the whole team work together in that kind of sliding reality is sort of amazing.
Yeah.
I see so many questions, but I can't.
Okay, wait. Yeah, sorry. Yes, I got out of it again. We're here. Here we go. Yes. Oh, it really hurts when you died. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, that was tough.
I don't.
Do you remember shooting that? Remember after that? It was like a week after your birthday or 3 weeks after your birthday, whatever. And we shot that scene. We finished that scene like at 2 or 3 in the morning. Yeah, and then we went and hung out in the makeup trailer.
And was it you who had brought some champagne?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I just remember we had a good time with the makeup ladies.
Oh yeah, you were still working while I was off. Permanently off.
Permanently off. That was sad.
That's terrible. It's sad.
That was sad.
Oh wow, there's a lot of questions here. there's a few questions asking about me and Martin, if you don't mind, what language we were speaking to each other. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm Danish, and Martin is Swedish, and the Scandinavian languages are similar. Norwegian and Danish is it's not the same language, and they always print everything on the back of any box you'll buy, hair dye or something like that. They just like kind of merge Danish and Norwegian. It really is two different languages, but it's very, very close. Swedish is slightly different. Swedish is more melodic. I can't talk to
Yeah, melodic. That's
melodic.
Right.
And Danish is very like
staccato.
Yeah, staccato.
Yeah.
And I think Danish is slightly faster spoken than Swedish. So I personally don't have a hard time understanding Swedish people. And I've met plenty of Swedes who don't have a problem understanding Danish. However, Martin did not speak Danish or understand it. So we had like this whole thing where we were sitting, and he would like, he's an actor, and he would like mimic back Danish to me. And I realized how crazy my language must sound to other people.
Yeah.
But we ended up, for the sake of the show, because I have a friend, I have more than one friend who's married to a Swede and vice versa, and they speak Swedish and Danish to each other. So we ended up just him speaking Swedish to me speaking Danish to him, and then sometimes mixing in some Swedish Danish words, a few English words, stuff like that. And I feel like that's how it goes.
Don't you also speak French and Italian and some English too, right?
Not in the show, but yes, I do.
No, in life.
Yes, in real life I do. It's not uncommon for Europeans to learn, to just be taught a lot of languages in school.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something now. I got all stage fright. But I speak.
Hydrate.
Yes,
Hydrated.
I speak Spanish también. But yeah, it's crazy. Oh, let's see some more questions. Here we are.
Yeah.
This is fun, Jeremy. We should do this more.
Yes, I'm in. Hey, I've got one for you if you can't find one.
Okay. Well, there are many here, but yes, bring it first.
So what is the biggest difference between shooting a show like Legion and Mr. Robot?
That's a good question. It's you know what the biggest difference is? One is shot on the East Coast, one is shot on the West Coast, and I realized that that's just very different ways of working. What is it, that drink? Oh, it's just water. It's just water. I wish. But yeah, actually those two shows were kind of similar, because Noah Hawley, who created Legion, and Sam are both eccentric in the best possible way of that word. You know, they're just very, it's kind of like somebody's like, sure, it's just water. It's kind of cool. You know this from having worked on House of Cards. It's cool to work with showrunners and creators who are so passionate about their work, who are just,
right.
You know, and a little out there in the best, absolutely in the best way possible. But I don't know really if there was much of a difference there. What about you and House of Cards?
Well, the aesthetics were completely,
of course,
completely different. I'm sure there's a handheld shot somewhere in House of Cards, but I was never on set for one. And House of Cards is all linear.
Yeah.
It all either moves in or moves out. All the lines are straight. And that aesthetic pertains also to the acting. So the acting tends to be much, your scope of range is much smaller. And your amplitude is also a little smaller. And then, of course, you know, again, it's a top-down thing. The last season, when Robin was the star of the show and Michael were the stars of the show, it was really a great set, happy.
I love that season.
Years before that, it wasn't always so easy on set. It was a little more, there was some tension on set at times. But Mr. Robot, I don't think there was ever any real tension there. And there was always the sense that people were swinging for the fences, swinging for greatness. Like, how we want this shot to look incredible, right?
Yeah.
And so everybody is just laying it down 16, 18 hours a day to make that happen.
Yeah.
That was a big difference in aesthetic and then in the energy, the vibe.
Yeah.
Mr. Robot.
Robot was those were long days. Those were super, super long days.
Yeah. Even though a lot of it was one shot scenes.
Yeah. It was long, long days. They were, I mean, the show, the aesthetics of the show, of course, like you say, are different, right? And it was sometimes it felt like I could feel a little depleted after a week or two of shooting, because it's just, you know how Robot could just get like super dark. And I've always said that it's not a binging show. Like,
It's hard.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
you want to
it's
take a
hard
little
to
break.
binge, like, because
You want to take a little break.
it's a lot of attention. It's the best show ever. Yeah, I mean, I must agree. I do think it's one of the best shows.
Do you think that there would ever be a spin-off of Mr. Robot?
Wouldn't that be
And if
fun?
there were, besides your character, what characters would you like to see, and what would you like to see them do?
I mean, we obviously want to see what Darlene is doing, right?
Yeah.
And I think I was very surprised when Angela, the fate that we shared. I would have liked to see more there. I would have loved to see Dom, Darlene, what was happening there. It would be fun if there was a spin-off, but I don't know why. When you said spin-off, my head went to reboot, and I was like, I wonder who's going to play me.
Hey, crazier things have happened. Who knows? In 20 years, that might happen.
Tell me, what else did you know about Sutherland? Actually, I don't know why. I was very intrigued about his backstory always. I was like, where did this hitman, assistant, driver, what was he even?
So here's something interesting that actually happened. I used to live in the neighborhood where we shot.
No way.
But then we moved out of Brooklyn, and I was gonna do the show, and I got called in on a Tuesday to shoot a scene in Elliot's apartment. And so I went early to say hi to an old buddy of mine who runs a little restaurant, and I went there to have breakfast. Christos Karasakalidis. I went to see him, and I just sit down to have some oatmeal or something, and I get a call from the production manager saying, "Hey, we forgot, but you have a monologue that you have to shoot at the top of this scene, and we're shooting you first." And it was like a page and a half.
Don't you love those things?
And so I was like, okay, print it out in large type, because I have old man eyes, put it in my dressing room, and send it to me now. So I paid for my oatmeal. I went out, I got an Uber. I studied on the way, like 10 minutes on the way in the car. I got out of my clothes. I got part of my costume on, went to makeup. I studied a little more. And then I got my costume the rest of the way on, got my makeup, got the hair done, went on set and shot that monologue. And the monologue.
Every actor who is watching this right now knows how impressive that is.
But the monologue was Mr. Sutherland's story. And he basically, while Elliot's trying to do some hacking, he's like, yeah, I used to be a driver for somebody, He was a musician for the Met. He used to get in the car and masturbate in the car, and I'd pretend like I didn't see what was going on. But the Wellicks are mostly good to me, they pay for my vacations, and at the end of the day, I just want to go home and be with my family. That's what he says to Elliot. So at that point, I knew a lot more about him than I had known before.
Yeah.
But obviously, you come into a role, you have your own backstory that you try to support it with. Well, with Sam, you got to be careful because because you might have the complete wrong story, and yet he won't tell you too much. So it's a very interesting.
Or he'll say some shit like this. Oh no, she was lying when she said that.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what? And he's like, yeah, she was lying. She was just like, she was shooting the shit. Like, it's like, okay. Well, then never mind.
He's a master puppeteer.
I've been making all this time.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna look some more. I forgot about that monologue. That's a good monologue. What is in here? Oh God, there's so many good questions. You know, can I just say one thing? I'll keep looking at them. You guys are asking better questions than a lot of, I won't finish that sentence. But these are really good questions. Some publications could learn a thing or two. Thoughts on Tyrelliot? Do you know what this is, Jeremy? Do you know, are you familiar with the Tyrelliot?
Yeah,
Yeah, I ship and I stand. I'm just saying, I love that. I was digging that. I like that idea. And so did the boys, by the way. They thought it was funny.
Yeah, and a lot of other people liked it too.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Was into it. I think that freedom was allowed in that relationship. Well, I know that for a fact. What else? Wow, there's so many good ones. Favorite season? What here from Emily and Jackie in Florida?
Hi, Emily. Hi, Jackie.
Favorite season? Season 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna say season 1.
Yeah, season 1.
Season 1. That was magical. Season 1 was magical. It was so fun. Although I got to do some really fun stuff in season 2.
Yeah, we definitely did. But
yeah.
It was the season 1 is as a viewer.
Yeah.
As a viewer, I think season.
Big payoffs. Big payoffs in season 1, especially toward the end. Yeah. Yeah.
It was good stuff. It really was. And here.
A lot of people are agreeing with us about season 1, by the way.
Yeah, season 1 was fantastic. Proton mail.
I can't see any of your questions. So.
You can't see.
What's your favorite Joanna quote?
My favorite Joanna quote. Can I say that? I guess I can.
Yeah.
My favorite Joanna quote is the most outrageous thing she says. She says, "Fuck you and your fetus." Fuck your wife and her fetus corpse, or fuck you and your fetus corpse. Shit like that. And I remember she said that to Scott Knowles, and I was sitting looking at, I looked at the script, and I was like, oh, if you think we're going to get in trouble with the lobster fork thing, where, you know, she induces her own labor, we're going to get, I mean, that is not a nice thing to say.
Do you get a lot of shade for stuff your characters do, though?
No, I've said this before. I am so surprised at how many people absolutely just love Joanna. I mean, I love her too, obviously, but love Joanna. I'm almost, sometimes it scares me a little bit that, that she was so popular because she's a character.
People want to be her.
Yeah. And I mean,
people want to be that smart. People want to be that pretty. People want to be her.
I mean, I don't possess, I couldn't be her in real life. I'm way too sensitive. But I mean, there are many aspects of her that I wish that I could command sometimes.
I don't think Joanna would ever take a pigeon from New York City to LA to nurse it back to health like you did.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, that's a true story. She nursed a pigeon back to health.
I don't know what. Oh, hi, Sebastian. Sebastian wants to be in the live stream too.
Joanna, Cesar 21 says Joanna is more scary than the entire Dark Army.
I know. It was
I
sad
love it.
what happened to her. Listen, it came, her death came, I saw a few people asking about this. So I think I'll answer it in the most respectful way I can, without, revealing too much or saying something that I actually don't know, something that's unfounded. But I was under the impression that we were going to see a lot more of Joanna and Tyrell as well, their backstory, how they, Sebastian, their backstory, and there was talks of revealing her parents were supposed to play a part, and how, why they sort of had that hunger for power, and how that was kind of a socially inherited aspect. So when she died, sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. This cat is like just about to knock something over. Just chill out, boo. Just chill out. Just chill out. You listening? Sorry. So where was I, Jeremy?
Well, you were talking about the death of Joanna and your
Oh,
character.
right. So that wasn't, thank you. So that wasn't necessarily the plan. And I actually didn't find out about the intention of killing Joanna off until about a week before we shot the scene.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, it all changed. It was I mean, I've said this in interviews as well. I felt like it was a very abrupt thing that happened to that character. But
yeah, and who knows what powers are at work in the, like,
yeah,
that's the thing about being an actor. Give up
when I finally got to speak to Sam about it, and he said, that we talked about consequences and stuff like that, and there are absolutely, for the character, and there needs to be, I feel like, for justice in the world, there needs to be consequences for a character who acts like that. You know what I mean? She really, really did think that she could just manipulate everybody, the system, everything. I think the only person she was really honest with was you. They had a very honest communication. What are you doing? They
really did that. Very healthy communication. They understood, where the boundary was. At least I understood where the boundary was. Right? That was fun. That was a fun relationship. I had another question. What about your home country? Do people ever say anything to you about Mr. Robot when you're with your dad, or when you're back home?
Oh yeah. Mr. Robot was very popular. I feel like Mr. Robot was you see everybody checking in. I see the Turkish flag. I see the Brazilian flag. Everybody's checking in from around the world, and it was very popular in the North as well. It was on HBO Nordic, I believe. And yeah, people are, but Danish people are just very nice and supportive.
Right. So
it's a different culture. We don't have the same culture you have here, in terms of celebrity and stuff like that. So it's a little different. How about you? Do people see in general, actually, with the characters? Because a lot of the characters you always play a bad guy, right?
Almost always, yeah.
Almost always. Yeah. Is there a misconception that you're a bad guy? Because you are the sweetest guy I know.
Oh, you're so nice to say that. Here, I live in a small
Danish
town.
flag. Hi.
Yay! I live in a small town in Vermont, and here in this town, I'm just my kid's dad. Like, people know that I'm an actor, but it doesn't really matter to them, and more it matters, what's going on in the moment. But sometimes when I'm in New York City, people will, they'll want a picture or whatever, which I'm always happy to do. Because when someone, like if you were a garbage person, sanitary worker, and someone came up to you and said, "Hey man, I love the way you take out the trash. Could I get a picture with you?" The sanitation worker would be like, "Yeah, man, that's great," because it's someone saying you're doing a good job. So anytime anybody, wants a picture or a selfie or whatever, I'm always happy to do that. And I'm always happy people say, "Hey, I loved your work on the show." Always happy to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, because you are literally the nicest guy ever.
Oh,
Okay, Jeremy, do you wanna do me a favor and take this over for 2 seconds? Because I literally just I just heard a cat that puked.
yes. I will try to, hey, John Coffee 64.
And I'm gonna go wipe that up with the one
Hey, don't turn it off though.
kitchen paper towel thing I have left.
Okay.
Cool. It'll
Cool.
literally take 2 seconds. Do you want to answer some questions? I'm sure that they'll.
Yeah, I just saw one on social distancing and how our business is going to move. You can go. I got it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, you guys. I'm so sorry. It's the mom duty.
There'll be 2 people watching when she gets back. So the social distancing thing and how we're going to work going forward, it's a huge question, and I've asked a lot of people on the inside of the business about it. I think the whole world is wondering, when we're all going to get back to work. And I think productions will not start back until they can take people's temperatures, do testing, and make sure they know everyone on set doesn't have the coronavirus or has already had it. When they can do that, then I think they'll start bringing. That was quick.
Yeah, it was just a little bit. My little sick boy.
Oh, poor fella.
Little fella.
Love you too, Phoenix.
Look, we're on the live stream. Yeah. He's like, why are you holding me like this? Put me down.
Someone says, are you scared of germs? I can tell you that Stephanie is not afraid of germs.
I am now. I know.
Someone asked, what's my favorite episode of season 4? And I have to say the final episode. Yeah. Bittersweet, sad, beautiful, so well acted, so just beautiful, and lots of payoffs, callbacks to season 1, and just really beautiful. Yeah. Yeah,
it was beautiful. I think it ended. You know what? For Mutsi, my best friend is on here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, hi, Mutsi. Belewa du up nu? Kan du gå I seng med oss? So sorry. Oh, fun.
Someone asks, is there anything in the works for you guys?
What do you? Well, as of right now, no. How about you?
I was supposed to be playing a cult leader in Hawaii right now. It'd be I've always wanted to have a cult anyway, just because, like, who doesn't want a cult?
You just
set
want
your
a
own
cult?
rules. Yeah, pick your own colors for your team outfit. Pick your own favorite foods as the foods of the cult. You could be in my cult, Steph. We could go vegetarian.
Thank you.
Vegan. And we could live, like maybe on top of a mountain next to a really beautiful waterfall, and we could like throw people off the waterfall that.
Did you watch Midsommar?
I did not yet.
Watch it.
I have it in my stack of DVDs. Somebody says they would join I'm telling you, I gotta get a cult.
What? Okay, guys, we're all joining Jeremy's cult.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna be on The Good Fight in a couple weeks, streaming on CBS All Access.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and I don't play necessarily a bad guy. Like, he's not really a bad guy.
He's not really a bad guy. Hey,
he's not.
I'm excited to watch it. You guys should watch Ranger. It's freaking funny.
Check out The Ranger.
Funny.
I'm calling my horror movie producing friends.
Call
and we're
it the
gonna
Mr. X cult. Okay, we're doing it. You know what?
Mr. X cult. Yes.
Okay, fine. If we're vegan and there's no Kool-Aid served, then I'll say okay.
And we won't actually kill anyone unless things go too far. Like in the first weeks, we won't kill anyone.
Oh God! You better pray that everybody gets sarcasm. They do.
And bongos. I want big bongos.
Oh, I love it. Listen, a lot of questions ticked in. I'm gonna take a look at it.
Do it. Answer those questions.
Are you okay? Oh.
The ambulance is coming for your cat.
Oh my God. Well, that's LA life for you. It's New York too.
Someone is asking where my kids are. This is my studio. This is my self-tape studio. My kids are at home.
Yes.
My kids are on the wall right behind me.
Oh,
Those
you know
are my
what?
kids.
Do you? Yeah, the girls. They're so cute. They're so cute. Wait, I'll address this really quickly. Listen, deception. I know a lot of
Yeah.
guys.
Oh.
I just because I don't know if any deception fans are on this live thing right now, but
We have something to talk about with this.
what do we have to talk about
With deception.
Oh, okay, wait, hang on. Let me just
You
first.
say your thing and then.
Unfortunately, as of what the word is now, it doesn't look like deception got picked up or is gonna do another season. And I know people were very happy with season 1. I thought it was a super fun show to shoot. It was so different than anything I've done. Like so much lighthearted and stuff like that, and it was fun. But no, as of now, there's no word from.
Hey, Molly.
That what?
I was just saying hi to my friend Molly.
Oh, Melanie. I'm just joking. At this
You
point.
didn't understand me? Weird.
So that's how we're gonna speak in the cult.
Yeah. Lots of mumbling in the cult.
What is that?
Yeah.
That just reminds me of something. Oh my God, have you ever seen that llama? Okay, so I'm a stoner. People know this.
Wait a minute. You were talking about deception. You got to finish that. You can't go off on all these tangents. It's like we're about to do a scene and then you're going to go do a bunch of tangents and I can't remember that.
With the llama. With the okay, never mind. Never mind.
You crack me up.
That's right. You and I were almost reunited at the beginning of Deception because you were at the table read for Deception.
Yeah, I'm friends with the casting director and she asked me if I could do the table read and of course I said yes. And at the end of the table read, the producer said, "Hey, you know Stephanie Corneliussen from Mr. Robot?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely. And how is she?" And I'm like, "Ugh, don't hire her." You know, like, I mean, have you ever seen her? Have you had to talk to her? No, I said, she's great. And she's so smart and she's so fun and she's brilliant. And the next thing I know, boom. Although for a while I thought it wasn't you because I saw on the call sheet someone else.
Yeah, that was fuck it.
If you have to say that was that many times.
I guess this is actually a good
No, don't.
Not
don't
tooting
do
my moral horn. It was stuff happened. Business stuff happened.
And you ended up with the part.
But then it all ended up that way anyway. So yeah.
I got to do one episode of that show.
Oh, people shot a cat. Yeah, Sebastian is very into this. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sebastian is very into this whole, no, the other cat, not the puking cat. But go ahead,
Does Sebastian have any questions for us?
Yeah, he's like, "Where's my food at, bitch?" Sorry. No, sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Hey, here's a question. Somebody wants to know, what was your favorite scene to shoot in Mr. Robot?
Favorite?
Yeah.
Favorite.
I liked killing Kareem.
You liked killing Kareem?
Yeah, because it was a one shot from entering the door all the way in to threatening him, messing up his apartment, turning him around in the chair, stealing his wallet, and shooting him and leaving. One shot.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, Aaron Medic just followed that whole thing and it's crazy.
I see that now in my head, but I did not realize at the time that was a one shot. That
was a one shot.
That's hard to do, you guys. It's hard to do.
And what you see on TV is, I think, the second take. We rehearsed one and then we shot it, and that's what you see.
That's why.
One shot Sam.
One shot Sam.
Yeah.
And one take Rami.
And one take Rami.
You know who's also one take? Actually, just going back to Deception. Cutmore Scott. Jack Cutmore Scott. He's a one taker too. It's nice working with professional people.
He's a nice dude.
We're very lucky. Oh, but you know who's the best? Ilfinesh Hadera. Ilfinesh, if you're you're not, but I love you so much. I stan her. I stan.
Yeah, she's nice.
She is the epitome of class and grace. Love her. Okay, wait. Looking at some questions.
Do it.
Mr. Sutherland spin-off.
Someone says, did any of
That's
you
what I
keep
want.
mementos for Mr. Hang on a second. Oh.
No, Jeremy.
Someone asked if we have any mementos from Mr. Robot.
What? Wow. That is badass.
Yeah, that's all I have. I have a hat too, but that's about it.
You know what? I have a couple of scripts. Are we?
You know, we should do another one of these and
Yes.
do a giveaway.
Are we allowed to
Give
give
something away
scripts
to the
away? I mean,
fans.
that can be sorted out. That's just an email away from knowing the answer for that.
Yeah.
That would be so much. Would you guys like that if we did that? Like, I kind of just want to see people's reaction.
Oh, someone. There's one person. There's two people. Okay, cool.
Oh, there's yes. Okay, people are into it.
Oh, we're delayed. I see. Okay.
Yeah, we're a little delayed. Yeah, okay. This is a good.
Cool. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
That was a very good idea. Very good idea, Jer. Okay, wait. I'm going back to the. Hey, what about this one? What's your favorite memory working with Samala?
So my favorite memory is we're at Coney Island shooting, and after every take he would say something mean to Todd Campbell.
He always does that.
Yeah, just you know, just to get under his skin, just because he loves him. He'd be like, "That was great, everybody, except for Todd."
Yeah, he's funny.
Could somebody do something about Todd? Yeah.
I remember this was when I still smoked. Hey, you know, I've been smoke free for a 1 year, and I looked at it the other day. I think it's a year and 2 months already.
Good for you, girl.
Thank you.
Awesome. Not easy to do, right?
That was the hardest thing not the hardest thing. That's perhaps
someone is asking what we filmed at Coney Island. Like half the show was filmed at Coney Island.
Yeah, there's a lot at Coney Island, even though the actual thing that the arcade that took place at Coney Island wasn't at Coney Island, of course.
Right. The exteriors were.
Yeah, no.
And the Ferris
a lot
wheel
was filmed at Coney Island. I was only there once, thank God, because that's a long trek from downtown. Any New Yorker will tell us.
This is a true story. One day I got there, I drove to the parking lot, and I see a bunch of cops running to the subway. And out there, the subway's up above. Someone had been shot on the subway platform.
Oh no!
Like 10 minutes before we started.
That's
crazy.
Really shocking. That was such a dark story, Jeremy. I thought we were keeping it all fucking light and bubbly here.
Oh, I'm sorry. That never happened.
Now I'm in shock. I'm gonna have to look it up. Mr. Robot is not on Netflix. It is on Amazon Prime. And the hardest thing was the corpsey Joanna scene. Yeah, that was overkill. Whatever. That was not fun to shoot.
Isn't it weird to know that corpse is sitting in a warehouse somewhere in Queens right now? There's a corpse of you. Sometime we're going to get really drunk and we're going to go find that corpse. And we're going to play so many tricks on people. What do you think?
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Maybe that can be the inaugural activity for the cult.
Okay.
And everyone who wants to be in the cult can help us.
You have to go find the corpse of Joanna Wellick.
Yeah. We've got so many ideas to pitch for Sam now.
I mean,
Sam, no, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea, Sam. You're gonna love this. He's gonna be like, I swear to God, most of the time I'd say some shit to him. He'd be like, yeah.
Then he just.
Listen, I'll stick in my lane. Okay, listen, a few more, and then I have to feed the cats at 6, because otherwise there's no love for me. No kitty love. Wow, there's so many.
Find a good one.
I'm trying. There are so many. I'm
We've
sorry.
only got 8 minutes. You got to find a good one. I'll talk more about the cult while you're looking for a question. I think that the cult needs to be a West Coast based cult.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's going to be a better place. And I'm thinking, after this coronavirus is gone, we do it in Washington somewhere. What do you think?
There's a question for you. There's a.
Someone said my hairdo is set in 1864.
What?
I can't. Someone's teasing me about my hair. I can't go get my hair cut right now, and I'm not letting my kids cut it. Oh
I will cut it when all of this is over, Jeremy. I'm not
okay.
good at cutting hair for whatever reason. I don't know why. Oh, hey, favorite songs used in the show. Do you have any? You're musically inclined, Jeremy?
I just liked Matt Coy. I like all his work in the show.
Yeah, he's a really fantastic sound. What's it called?
Sound designer. I liked all the callbacks he did to movies from the late 70s and the kinds of music that was used in video games. And Sam was really specific about that, and I just loved all that stuff.
Yeah, Mac Quill's fantastic. Really, really is. We love you, Mac. He really knows how to score. Like it's no joke. He really adds something extra to the scene. We have to remember that it's not like we're only such a small part of it. The stuff you see and when you like it, it's just so much go into that.
I just read a comment that said people in Europe like it because you're an icon, Stephanie.
Oh, stop. Stop. I can't handle it. I'm Taurus.
It's too much to be an icon.
I only ever after I moved to America do I now have even an opinion on astrology, but I actually think it's kind of cute. I have a saying, Jeremy, that I got from my grandmother that I like. My grandma, who unfortunately passed away. Listen, I haven't been very much on social media because last year my grandmother passed away and we were very, very close. She was like a mother to me. So I had a little spell with depression. That was very uncomfortable. But I'm doing better now. But she always said something very, very smart. She always say, never buy into anything, only subscribe to it. So, right? Because you can cancel your subscription at any point. And I always thought that was a very fun thing or a very smart way of thinking of life in general. Never buy into anything, just subscribe to it. Hey, can I ask you a question, Jeremy?
Yeah.
It says on my screen now, 1 minute and 48 remaining. What does that mean?
It means after an hour, we are cut off.
Really?
Yeah, so we're going to end. We'll be cut off in a minute.
Oh.
So we should say thank you to everybody for stopping by. And Stephanie, maybe we should do this again sometime, huh?
I would love to do this again. I mean, honestly, there's this is nice. This is the most social interaction I've had in a minute.
Yeah, it is nice to see you. And so we'll work something out. We'll.
Or do you want to continue just a little bit more, and then I can just go back live? Can I just go back live?
I don't know. I'm not a techie guy. I don't know how this
You
stuff
can't
works.
stop me. No fronting?
I don't, I mean.
I'm not really a fronter.
No, you're not.
Should we just let people go to bed? Okay, we're going to do it 5 more minutes, okay? I'm going to lock off, and then we're going to go back at it again, okay?
Okay, we're going to go live again, everybody.
Okay, if you guys want.
You said it. You have to do it. You can't go back on it now.
No, okay, fine.
Wellick.
Okay, bye. Okay, we'll be right back.
I love you.